Alright, welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. Hi y'all. So, Saturday afternoon, got me a little sleep, feeling good, and even with all the noise outside, I ended up getting some sleep. What's the noise, you ask? Well, I live right next door to LSU, literally right off campus. I mean, you go out and you go right across the road over here and you're on campus. So, the road that runs beside my place here is busy because today LSU versus Florida, game day, kickoff at 7 o'clock. It's about 3:30 now. It's wall-to-wall traffic coming in. Luckily, I'm going to be going out when I leave, and everything will be cleared up by the time I get home in the morning, of course. If you happen to get caught in this traffic as they're leaving and you need to come back in, you're just messed up because they do a contraflow. Everything goes out from LSU and you can't come back in. Now, I've literally had to wait hours for the traffic to clear before to get to come back in. Yeah, when I rented this place, I didn't know anything about LSU football. Anyway, I root for LSU until they play a Mississippi team. Whatever. So, today is another requested shave. I've got this Lady Gillette. It was my mom's. And I say it was my mom's because as long back as I can remember, this and a Black Beauty were in the medicine cabinet in the house. And I don't remember if I ever asked Mom about it, but I figured there's a Lady Gillette and then there's a Black Beauty, so I figured the Lady Gillette was hers. Now, a lot of people, and this is an H-4, so a lot of people, poo-poo the idea of using a razor that was geared towards the ladies. The truth of the matter is, it's a super speed head, long handle. The thing shaves great. Always has. This is one of the first razors, safety razors I used. I don't know if I use this one or the super adjustable more. But anyway it goes. This was one of the first ones. It still has both end caps. And even though it's faded, this was a light blue. Or it was a blue. I don't know about light blue. But anyway, it was a blue star. And the TTO still works really well on it. Everything's still nice and tight. It doesn't rattle. I've taken pretty good care of it over the years. So anyway, that's what we're going to use for a razor. Now, I was digging around, and I was going to use, like I usually do, my old generic dollar store razor blades. But I got to thinking, someone sent me a bunch of blades here a while back. And I'm sorry, I can't remember who it is. And they've been in there, and I use one every once in a while. And I said, I better use those up, or they're going to sit around forever, right? So anyway, I randomly grabbed in there, and I got a Gillette Wilkinson sword blade, made in India. And so yeah, don't get too tied up with blades, really. Blades are not as big a deal as most people make them out to be. Now, that being said, when I started in on this, I thought they were a lot bigger deal than they really are. I guess that's how it is with anything when you're getting into it. Everything seems to be really important, that as you get more into it and you build that all-important thing called technique, you realize not as important as it was. So anyway, that's my theory, and I get into discussions about that often online. I get the, well, my face is different from your face, and shaving is individual, and what works for you may not work for me, and your mileage may vary, which is the biggest crutch in the world. And truth of the matter is, technique, it's shaving. It's just like golfing, I guess. You can use different clubs. Professionals use better clubs, I understand, but a professional is going to be able to take your set of clubs and go out and do a lot better than you are, because he's a professional, and that's what he does. Now, that being said, you can't really tie that kind of stuff into shaving because there is a lot of difference between the different sets of clubs and everything like that, whereas in shaving, there's really not that much difference. Really, there's not. There's not enough difference between different blades to make a difference. There's not enough difference between different razors to make a difference. Once you have solid technique, you can go do whatever with whatever, as long as it's not damaged. So I had a guy say, oh, you can shave with whatever as long as you know good technique. So you're going to take a bowling ball and shave? What an idiot. Bowling ball and shave. No, I use metaphors for other stuff. But anywho, there you go. So we've got the vintage Colgate soap today. And since I was using a family razor, I decided I wanted to use a family brush. So this is my Granddads Surrey. I got this after he passed away, and it's definitely been well used over the years. And you'll notice it looked like a VDH, so I think Surrey became VDH. It was bought out by VDH. I don't ever remember. But anyway, it still works really well. It's a boar brush, and the old Colgate soap loves a boar brush, just like the vintage Williams or the modern Williams or any of them. So we're going to get us a nice little lather going here. The vintage Colgate is a really good soap. I'm not sure how hard they are to find these days, but once eBay folks and everybody started realizing that there was a increase in the number of folks that were hunting vintage stuff, the prices kind of went up, and it gets outrageous, especially for vintage Williams. The prices just get stupid. I hunt around every once in a while and find one that I'm a little more comfortable with, and I'll use that. But I picked up a few here a while back. I'm putting a cake of the vintage Williams and a cake of the vintage Colgate into the end of summer giveaway over at Toast, by the way. Hey, we're about ready to roll with that. We've got someone else that's donating some really nice prizes. And that way we have this big pool of prizes, and then we'll draw names and match everything up. It's going to be a hoot. It really is. So this, like I said, is a super speed head. Now, if someone wants to let me know the difference between, say, the Lady Gillette head and whatever the super speed was at the time head, feel free to let me know. But it's a super speed head. There ain't going to be enough difference. Well, you know, the blade gap's this much difference, and who cares? It doesn't matter. Well, you know, some of the blades are just a little bit wider. Who cares? It's not going to matter with the shave. That's what your technique is for. Now, this is just a regular day's growth, so this is actually just a very common, everyday shave. Oh, this razor shaves nice. I'm a single edge and injector guy, as everybody knows. But there, you know, these two-sided thingies shave too. No doubt about it. Not hard to find the angle. People holler about long handle, short handle, the balance on the head, the weight of this, that, and the other. Not as important as you think. Especially when you're first starting out, you think it's important. Not. Really not. I like to tell a story. I went fishing with a guy one time that was a bass fisherman. I don't bass fish a lot. I'm more of a catfish from the bank, or go after sockeye or chickapin or something like that. I like to jig fish, old jig poles. Anyway, this guy was a hot shot bass fisherman, or thought he was. Had a big fancy boat, big fancy reels and rods, and I had my Walmart stuff with me. And he offered 2 or 3 times to let me use one of his poles, and I didn't need to use one of his poles. I'd push the button and I'd sling the bait, and the bait would go out, and I'd reel it back in. Pretty much the same thing his expensive rig would do. And I'm not a professional bass fisherman, so, you know, if my gear doesn't last as long, I'm not worried with it. So anyway, the upshot of that story is that after all his fancy stuff and trying to get me to fish with his fancy stuff and everything, was that my little old Walmart rig caught more fish than his big expensive stuff did that day. Sure did. Now we get a little across the grain stuff here. I don't know. Like I said, I think the only time that I'm going to agree that the handle length really matters is maybe someone that's got these huge hands. Maybe the longer one. I could see where a short razor might be harder to hold on. I'll go for that. But generally speaking, it doesn't bother to shave any to have a short handle or a long handle or heavier on the head or heavier on the bottom of the hand. Really? And that accounts for shaving brushes too, boys and girls. I like a heavy brush. Why? What does it matter? That's what you like, that's what you like. Alright. Get right up behind that ear because I could see I had left a little. Oh, look at that. I'm going to get right up next to that sideburn because it appears I missed that on the second pass. There we go. Everything nice and straight. Not a bad shaving among all the yakking. Not a bad shave at all. Not a bad cup of coffee either. That is good stuff. Not a bad way to start the afternoon. I'll have a cheap cigar on the way to work. Probably. I bought a sample pack from Thompson's Cigar. And they're like, I don't know, $1.25 a stick for the little Churchills. They smoke okay. I've got better stuff, but just driving to work, running down the road, a lot of times I'll smoke the cheaper stuff. Maybe even fire up a pipe. I haven't been smoking my pipes much. I do like a pipe. Alright, there we go. So it's starting to cool down here. I have heard it got down to about 63 last night, which felt wonderful. And I have been told that it's possible they get down to the 50s tonight. Ain't that nice? We're going to get our 10 minutes of cool weather around here. That's just good stuff. Alright, so here we go. Yes, I finally refilled my little squeeze bottle with the witch hazel instead of having the big bottle up here on the counter. I don't guess it really matters, but that big bottle just takes up so much room, and trust me, I don't have room for a lot of stuff up here. Not with all the junk I have. So I got a request on the good old YouTube to ask if I would do a electric razor shave. I don't own one. I'm not going to own one. And I'm afraid I'm not going to do an electric razor shave. Sorry. Alright. Everything cleaned up. Everything wiped off. And again, it's what we expect. A lovely shave. Now, there's also chick injector razors that were marketed for the ladies that do a very good job. So don't let the marketing get to you. There's really no need in it. These things do a wonderful job. If you haven't gotten one, they're not too hard to pick up. They're nice to add to your super speed collection if you're, like these two-sided thingy stuff. If that's your thing. So it's, probably a good idea to add one if you don't already have one. They shave great. Look at that. Beautiful, huh? We're going to finish off with some Old Spice. Just because I randomly picked Old Spice off the shelf. We got some Old Spice. I have no idea how old it is or when I got it or where I got it or anything. Alrighty. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Alright, well, time for me to jump into the shower. Although that's not a mental picture you need, I understand. And then we're going to hit the road getting on to work. And again, if you want to see a shave with something, I either got it or I got access to it. So, hit me up if there's anything you'd like to see. If you don't want to make it public, send me an email. I don't mind. I won't tell anybody who you were that asked about it. I don't usually remember, to be honest about it. Although I do remember this particular shave was Jill. Jill, You've been doing some great shaves here lately. I don't comment enough on other people's shaves, and I apologize for that. But usually I'm just going through watching when I have a few minutes, and I'll go through and watch. If you haven't checked out, if you haven't checked out Jill's channel, and right now I can't remember the She Shaves with Jill. Sorry about that, Jill. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. The lady uses a lot of really nice razors and creams and does all these wonderful. She's a lot better at doing reviews than I am. I just stand up here and yap and shave. But if you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's well worth your time. Well, y'all have a great evening. Like I said, I'm fixing to go jump in the old shower and get ready for work and go in for another night of, jousting the windmills. You have a good afternoon. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, happy shaves to you.